All right, everyone, welcome back to Season 3, Episode 10. This is the second part of our conference report. We're titling it, What is Your Walk and Talk for the Next 6 Months? If you didn't catch the first half, you can find that linked in the show notes. Other than that, we'll just dive right in. We're just talking about Brother Barlow's talk, and we'll go from there. He says, when we show our love for God, we can better see his love for us, which then in turn helps us to see others without judgment.
Yes. He speaks to us according to our understanding.
I love that concept.
Yes, I do too. Because the way I understand things is not the way that Melissa understands things or anybody else.
It's true.
So, just like Jesus told Simon Peter, lovest thou me more than these. Yes, is that what it? Lovest thou me more than these? Is what it was. Yeah. Which he's basically saying, love your neighbor as you love me, right? Mm-hmm. Basically.
Yep, absolutely. He did start it out with sometimes it's hard to recognize God's love in our lives, which I appreciated because, sometimes it is hard to see if you're having a hard time with something.
Oh, it is. It is. It is so hard to see, things perfectly when you're in a hard spot. I think that we don't have a very good view when we're having a hard time.
Yep.
It's for sure.
It can get clouded a little bit.
Oh, a lot. Yeah.
He did say that God wants us to want to be obedient.
Oh.
Which I thought was kind of a cool idea.
Yeah, because we do have agency.
Mm-hmm.
We have to want to do things.
Yeah, it's God's plan. It's Christ's plan. It's not Satan's plan.
Well, also, if you're doing things just off of a checklist or just because you're told to do it, that's not real discipleship.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of people who, who are in the church who view church going that way.
Yeah.
Where it's just like a thing they have to do, check the box, moving on, and then go about their day. But if we're really serving each other, if we're really serving Jesus, if we're really serving God, we're serving each other, and it's not just a Sunday thing,
Yeah, absolutely. It needs to be.
It needs to be an everyday thing.
Yeah.
I think he also was the one that was talking about show your love for God with gratitude. Have an attitude of gratitude. If you love me, keep my covenants. We should choose to do what is right. So again, Satan's the one who wanted to force us to do the right.
Yep.
We have to choose and make that choice.
Yeah.
So that's a good way to look at it. If you have gratitude for God, if you have that attitude of gratitude, then I think you want to serve more than if you're forced to serve.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
makes a difference.
It does. It does. Because doing things because you have to is, well, you're just doing it because you have to, and it's not fun.
Yeah.
So it's all about your attitude.
Yep.
Anything else on that one?
Nope.
Okay. Jackson.
I loved this talk. No one has ever said it in this way, this powerfully, about how to take care of people in your ward under your stewardship.
Stewardship again.
Yes. And he did his account and count, or whatever he called it.
Yes. Remember to count and account for each member.
And I was just like, I loved that he told it in stories.
Yes.
I loved the one, I think he started telling the first story and I could tell it was going to be a bad example. And he's like, there was this really eager elders quorum president. It was like, we're going to have an activity every quarter and we're going to have really engaging lessons and we're going to do this. And the bishop or the stake president or whoever was like, who's the least active member that you need to minister to?
Yeah.
Go visit him. Okay, who's another inactive member that you can go visit? And I was like, yes.
Go after the one.
Yes, and I just love the idea of like, are you actually thinking about all the people? Mm-hmm. Because there's been some people that moved out of the board that I didn't realize moved out until later. And there's some changes during COVID, and then we merged the wards, and it was kind of confusing.
There was all sorts of, and people just disappeared. And
there was a couple people that moved and didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Like the Taylors, I was like, what the heck?
Oh, yeah.
Rude. And the Coonses, I was like, where'd you go? So, yeah. So I just love the idea of like taking track of all of your people. And this can apply to your calling, your ministering assignment, your children, people in your life that you feel like you need to reach out to.
Yeah.
But this also made me think that our church is so organized very methodically.
Yes.
To make sure that everyone is taken care of.
Yes.
And we all have to do our part. And the big takeaway I got was that we need to be better shepherds.
Yes. He said, we need to feed the sheep, know when they are missing.
Yeah.
And that is all about, because he said he goes after the one and leaves the 99. That's what we're supposed to do. That's what Jesus did. That's what we're supposed to do. If we see that somebody is suddenly missing from the congregation, we should inquire as to why.
Yeah, absolutely.
And be like, hey,
yeah,
doing okay? Do you need anything? And maybe it is that they just moved and didn't tell anybody, and that's okay too. But
or maybe they're just sick.
Or maybe they're sick.
Or they're on vacation.
Or they're, having problems, or you don't know. And if we don't, Christ relies on us to be the shepherds down here.
Yeah. To
go after the one. And I think that he gives us nudges, and he gives us, promptings about who to, he orchestrates all that. We have to listen, and we have to then act. Because I can tell you many times that I've had, people notice that I've been missing and reach out, and maybe I didn't do anything at the time, or maybe I brushed them off or whatever. But when the right person reached out, when the right person got the prompting and I was ready, there you go. They came after and they found the one.
Yeah. It made all the difference.
It made all the difference. And you may, here's what I must say. You may try with somebody who's not been coming to church, or who's decided that they're leaving or whatever. You may try and get rebuffed 100 times, and that's okay. You can still keep trying. I mean, unless they actually say, don't ever talk to me, stop talking to me, keep trying, And because you never know, even like when the missionaries go out, the missionaries talk about all these times, because they get moved all the time, right? And they'll start talking to a family or a prospect, and then get moved. Yeah. And so they don't know what happened to that prospect necessarily after that, because it got passed on to another missionary. Maybe that other missionary baptized them. Maybe they never spoke to missionaries again. They don't know. But you don't know what seed you're planting. Yeah. Even after you're gone, that takes hold later. Yep. So my advice is, don't give up, and, keep reaching out and keep trying to go after the one. Yeah, absolutely. So that was a great talk.
Yeah, it was. Elder Anderson.
Now, I had to stop listening at this point, so I don't have the rest of Saturday night. Mine picks up Sunday morning.
He was the last one.
Oh, right. So I only missed one talk, so you go.
Okay, he talks about restitution. If you had been listening, you would have texted me.
I would have. Dang it.
Because he talks about this ex-husband that feels so bad about what he did that he starts giving his ex-wife more money. And I was like, can you just tell everyone to do that? It was a very unique, specific example. But he talked about making restitution and to improve by degrees.
Okay.
I really liked the idea of like little by little. Yeah. Which was an answer for me.
Well, see, now you're the one that needs to listen to that then.
Yeah. And then he said, let these things trouble you no more.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And I was like, okay, I'll try.
Okay, I'll try.
I'm trying. So it was good.
It's a process.
Yes. By degrees.
Yes, by degrees.
Okay. Sunday morning.
Elder
Holland.
The goat.
Yes. I have lots of color in this one.
Yes.
So the song that they sang before he went up was I'll Go Where You Want Me to Go.
Oh, yeah.
This song hit me real hard like a month and a half ago.
Really?
We sang it at church. I just realized that like my path is different than I thought it was going to be, but this is the path that God wants me on.
And so it's still a good path.
It is. I struggle sometimes, but
that's okay.
But it's where God wants me. So it was cool to hear it again and be like, yeah, I said it and I said it again.
He's like, listen up.
You're where you're supposed to be. Melissa, relax.
I like how he talked about Jesus healing the blind beggar. It's when he first talked about when they put the clay on his eyes and how important evidence is to argument or malice is to the truth.
Yeah.
So like, you know, when he was saying that like when Jesus healed this blind beggar and all he used was spit and dirt.
Oh, it was such a good, like, such an epic, like, he can use anything, guys. He used spit and dirt. You don't think he can't use you?
I know.
It was so epic. It's so epic. It's so Elder Holland to just like pull out this tiny little detail and turn it into this like bam moment.
Yes.
Like he used spit and dirt, Melissa. He can use you. He can use all the crap you've been through and make something awesome out of it.
Yeah.
So relax.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I'm talking to myself, guys. I'm like giving myself a pep talk right now.
It's fine. But yeah, I mean, he's talking about that. Like, you know, look, if he can do this, he can do anything.
And he quotes, I think it's in John where he says that the works of God may be made manifest.
Yes.
And what he says with the dirt and the spit is that God can bless us by whatever method he chooses. And the writing in this is so good because he says things may seem plain, but they are plain and precious. And I was like, that was such a beautiful transition.
It was.
And the connecting of beautiful scriptures.
Yes.
Oh, it was so good. I was like, you're such a good writer. You know all the scriptures.
Yes.
And he also said that it may not always be clear how he's trying to bless you.
Right.
Which I love because, like, sometimes it doesn't make sense.
Right.
And we just have to wait for the Lord to, like, give you the next step. I always, whenever I talk about my divorce and, like, figuring out my life after, I always say, like, if God had told me what I was going to do right after my divorce, I would have been so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But he told me a little bit at a time. Because, I mean, the first couple months after we separated and I was working at Target, and I was like, well, this wasn't the plan. I was like, I don't know what the plan is, but God will tell me eventually. And he would give me one step. He'd be like, okay, get a job. Okay, redo your bedroom. Okay, talk to this person about that. Okay, meet this person at Target who will talk to you about being a therapist. Okay, talk to this person. Okay, like,
yeah,
one thing at a time that I can handle. And it all worked out. Yeah. And now I've got a career that will pay the bills. And so it's like
it all he used, just like he say, even spit and dirt, God can use anything to bless us.
He used Target.
He can use a divorce to bless you.
Yep.
He can use Target to bless you.
I mean, I met the girl who told me it was a possibility to make a living being a therapist and told me what degree to get. And
yeah,
there was a sale on games and she was a play therapist, and I was like, and I was brave enough to ask her some questions, and she's like, oh, yeah.
I also like this, and this goes into what you're saying. Some things are plain and precious. How often God has sent his message through a seemingly ordinary person.
Oh, I like that.
So
I didn't catch that one.
Yeah.
I must have been like too busy writing, but I like that a lot.
Yeah, because he'll use anything.
Yeah.
Even spit and dirt, and he'll use, your divorce to, make something better. I mean, we can't avoid tragedy in this life.
Yeah.
We can't avoid people using their agency in ways that we wouldn't have anticipated them using that.
Yeah.
In which case changes your trajectory, even if you had a perfectly laid plan.
Yeah.
You cannot plan for every scenario in life, is what it is. It's like you can't plan your life in so much detail that it goes perfectly, because there's always going to be a roadblock. There's always going to be a person doing this, or, you know, some other thing happening here that's doing that. And when those things happen, they feel so insurmountable. They feel so heavy. They feel so hard to overcome. But God is using those instances to bless you, even if you don't see it in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, what we're talking about here is like people, you know, when people heard the story of the beggar with the eyes, and they're like, you know, people didn't believe it.
No.
And it's like, truth is truth, whether you want to believe it or not.
Yeah. And if you read the exchange in the scriptures, let me pull it up actually, because it's kind of hilarious. I remember when they do it in The Chosen, I was like, is that what it says in the scriptures? Because it's like really like clap back kind of interaction.
Yeah. And also to the point of that coming through a seemingly, you know, ordinary person. I mean, it may be exactly why he's telling me to change my content and change what I listen to and change all those things, because maybe I'll be that ordinary person to somebody later, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Jesus heals this guy on the Sabbath, first of all, so it causes extra problems.
The Pharisees
are kind of mad. They're like, this man is not of God, because he keepeth not the Sabbath day. And he's like, how can a man that is a sinner do such miracles? And they were disagreeing. They asked the blind man, what sayest thou of him that he hath opened thine eyes? And he said, he is a prophet. But the Jews did not believe concerning him, but that he had been blind and receiving his sight, until they called the parents of him that received his sight. They're like, go get his parents. We don't believe that he was born blind. And he's like, is this your son who you say was born blind? How did he now see? And his parents answered him and said, we know that this is our son, and that he was born blind. By what means he now seeth, we know not, or who hath opened his eyes, we know not. He is of age, ask him, he shall speak for himself.
I like, just why you ask him?
Just ask him. These words spake his parents, because they feared the Jews. Okay. He answered and said, whether he be a sinner or no, I know not. One thing I know is that whereas I was blind, now I see. And they said to him again, what did he do to thee? How opened he thine eyes? And he answered, them I have told you already, and did ye not hear? Wherefore would ye hear it again? Will ye also be his disciples? And they reviled him, and they got all mad. Anyway, but they're so like, I already told you, like, you're not listening. You're not hearing me. You don't believe me. If you didn't believe me the first time, why are you going to believe me now? And this is John chapter 9, but I just love the idea that like some people just aren't going to see it.
Yeah.
And you're like, I already told you that he healed me and I was born blind, and you still don't believe me.
Yeah.
You asked my parents, they said I was born blind, you still don't believe me. Sometimes people are just going to be like, yo, whatever.
Yeah.
And we need to, if we can have faith, we can believe that the miracles can happen.
Absolutely. And I do like how he said blessings may be and often are in disguise. So a lot of times you get a blessing. You won't get a blessing that's as like awe-inspiring as all of a sudden you were blind and now all of a sudden you can see.
Yeah.
But other blessings, most blessings are actually in disguise, and that you don't recognize the blessing until later when you're like, oh, okay, I see what you did.
Yeah.
I see that. Like I'm sure that you weren't thinking of your divorce as a blessing at the time. Yeah. And now you're like, yeah, it was, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And this was the talk where I got the prompting that I was like, hey, you should ask for help with your book, Melissa, because he can help you, because he can bless in whatever method he chooses.
Yes. And it looks like he was also talking a little bit about the Book of Mormon, translated by the gifted power of God. And then he bears his testimony about how it's true.
Amazing Grace.
Like and he sings Amazing Grace, which, so okay, beautiful. That was so great. So mean, I love Holland. I know. Like, so I was just like over the moon when he was the first one on Sunday morning. I was like, yes.
I know. Start off with a bang.
Okay, so after him was James Evanson.
Yep. He talked about service. He said, he quoted Jesus and was like, go and do thou likewise.
Yes. So, and he talked about service missions.
Yes, which I loved. I will pivot here. So I watched the World Report, which is, if you watch conference on YouTube or like KSL or whatever, they'll show the World Report in between. And it's like news for the church, basically.
Yeah.
And they had all these reports of all of the charity work that the church is doing, which I don't feel like we hear about very much.
Yeah.
Like they built a church for a Islamic community, and I can't remember where it was, but they didn't have a building, so they built them a church. They're doing all this disaster relief after natural disasters. And then the program that I love is it's called Days for Girls, where they make period stuff for girls in Nigeria because they don't have any access to anything, and they miss school because of it.
Oh, that's
because
crazy.
The culture is so blood. They don't.
They have to basically shut in.
Yeah, they have to sit and just bleed and miss school, and so they can't do anything.
That's terrible.
So they call it Days for Girls because they're giving them their days back so they can go to school.
Yeah,
they have the proper materials to deal with their period. And we had done that in the ward before. Like we'd done some sewing for that, and that's really cool. And they have things for that in the Light the World giving boxes, the giving machines this year. And just watching it just made me want to give more.
Yeah.
Outside of tithing, because tithing does help the church, and some of what we give is going to give to the LDS charities and stuff. But it just made me think of like, there's more that we can do, and there's things that I care about, like the Days for Girls, and then there's a couple of shops that I've found that sell goods that are made by women trying to get out of poverty, or women who were rescued from trafficking. I'll link to both of those. They have stuff that you can buy that helps these women have good jobs that pay well by making these really beautiful bags or jewelry or whatever. But they also have ways you can just donate to like a woman who needs help, or someone who's gotten pregnant who didn't want to, or like help them carry the pregnancy and get medical help or whatever else. So it's really cool. I'll link it for you guys if you want. But I just was thinking about like the widow's mite and giving when you don't have enough, and the talk that talked about the woman that fed Elijah. She called her the woman of something. I can't remember.
Yes.
Whatever city she was from.
Yes.
I just loved the pictures that they showed it, so it's like in my brain.
Yes.
But she gave, even though she didn't have a lot, and she didn't know who Elijah was, because she even mentioned like there's no picture of the prophet because there's no pictures.
Right.
But the idea that there's always more to give, and so I don't know. Just one of the things I was feeling like was important.
In Andrea Munoz Spanis's talk.
Yeah, she was great. But just the idea of like really giving of our time.
The woman of Schumann.
Yeah. And not just giving to the church, but to give to the charities that you feel good about.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like I was impressed to like do a little bit more of that, especially during the Christmas season, to like
totally
do a little bit more and give even just a little bit to these companies that support women that are having trouble.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yeah. I love that. Ulysses Suarez.
He also talked about
the how firm a foundation.
Yes, he also talked about reconciliation.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the third time.
Yes, I'm seeing a pattern.
Yes. He did talk about the temple, the Salt Lake Temple getting redone, and asking what reinforcements you need in your testimony.
Yes, that's where the firm foundation came in.
Yeah. And he talked about temperance.
Yes.
Which I wished he would have defined earlier in the talk. I know what it is, but I don't feel like everyone does.
Yeah. It's
in the New Testament a lot, but the best definition I have is that temperance is self-control.
Yes. Yes. So he was talking about acting with humility and self-control and temperance. Yes. Be humble and temperate in the way we act and speak. Be careful of our attitudes. Let's see, where did I see? Be temperate. don't let afflictions deter your faith.
I like that.
We can choose to respond with temperance in all things. Jesus doesn't allow anger to take over. So being temperate is more like, minding your temper, minding your temperament.
Yeah. Right? For sure.
And, acting as Jesus would act. Something in here he said, stand unwavering, cultivating temperance is the way to ward against spiritual erosion.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. And not to act impulsively. So I think that was very relevant to a lot of the way we are in society right now. There's a lot of erosion and explosion and of people's tempers and the way that people are acting towards each other.
Yeah.
And so, he's basically just warning us that we should act as Jesus would act.
Yeah.
With temperance.
Yeah.
Which is always good. And then we have Peter Johnson.
Yeah, he talked a lot about discipleship in the temple and ministering to the unseen.
Yes. Minister to the one. Again, we got that same thing that they've mentioned before. If we felt, this is something I wrote, if we felt unseen, unimportant, and cast aside like the woman at the well, we cannot judge unrighteously.
Yep. Same theme as before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because remember the woman at the well.
Yep.
She was living with somebody that wasn't her husband.
Yeah.
She had a past. She had to go to the well at different hours of the day so that she wasn't talked about by all the other women.
Yeah.
So, and Christ revealed himself to her.
Yep.
So,
love it.
I love it. It doesn't matter what your past is. It doesn't matter what your history is. Christ knows you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfectly. So I did write here, minister to draw others to Christ. Yeah, so we should be ministering to draw others to Christ and not judging people because it's not our place.
Yep, absolutely.
Christofferson.
He talked about for strength of youth, which was really cool. He's the one that said the prosperity versus being cut off from God, that prosperity is not the opposite of poverty. I like that.
I like how he said, I wrote this down, turn to music, scripture, and prayer in tragedy. I like how music was first. Just saying. And then I said, turn to the Lord and look to him to get through hard times. Look to God and live. Inasmuch as you shall keep my commandments, you shall prosper in the land. There was that prosperity again. Any other insights? So we're looking few things, complicate things faster, violating. Let's see. Look unto me and be saved. He is our highest priority. So, yeah, I mean, basically that's just what he was talking about. He was talking about looking to Christ and also trying to, I think he brought up the strength for youth because not just because he did mention as not just for the youth, that this is really just the way that everybody should conduct themselves. It's absolutely not really, they give it to the youth because the youth are young and probably need reminding more, but I don't know. Do they?
We all need reminding.
We're all flawed. No, who are we kidding?
Yeah.
Who are we kidding?
Yeah.
And then Andrea Munoz-Spanis.
I really liked her.
Yeah. She was the one that talked about the woman of Schumann.
Yeah.
Who invited Elijah to eat bread. We can receive a personal testimony of the prophet. And prophets are inspired teachers to the world. The Lord expects us to be stronger and faithful in our testimony. Let your hearts rejoice. That's what I have written here on that one. The biggest thing
I got from hers was to teach your children.
Yes.
That was good.
Yes, that is good. And then we have Iring.
Oh, I loved his talk.
I love Iring. You know,
so good.
He was the other goat.
Yes.
I was just gonna say.
So good.
So good. I love Iring. He's so soft spoken.
I know. He's so cute.
He is.
I would love it if he was my grandpa.
I know, right? Right.
So I really liked that he talked about being proved, like proving and strengthening.
Yes.
He said he loves us enough to prove and strengthen us.
Mm-hmm.
Believe in the trust he has given you.
Mm-hmm.
I loved the essence of his talk. I didn't write a lot for his, but just the idea of like God trusts you enough to put you in hard places.
I mean, yeah, and I kind of wrote that when we feel overwhelmed, not to quit, because that is Christ just proving us. I mean, we're going to be put in situations that are uncomfortable, that are hard, and that's unavoidable. And Heavenly Father knows us, and he knows what we can handle. Now, sometimes I've argued with God about what he thinks my strength is.
Yeah.
And vehemently told him he's wrong. Because I'll tell you, sometimes I'm just like, I can't do this anymore. So, fix it. And, I'll tell you, it comes in the strangest times when you least expect it, when all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, it's better. And then you don't quite know what to do with yourself, which is where I find myself now. Like, all right. Bednar.
Okay, real quick.
Yes. Oh, no.
I have one note that I had on the world report in between.
I missed. Did I miss?
No,
something?
you didn't miss anything.
No. Okay.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned before, I watched the world report, and there was this really cute vignette with Elder Holland, and he says, "You can always count on personal revelation."
Oh yes,
I just love that.
I love that. We don't rely on it enough.
No, if you go on YouTube and you just search Saturday conference, it'll have the whole day, and it will include the world report in the middle.
Nice.
So if you want to watch it, it's really great.
Awesome.
There's some really cool stories in there. And more information about the young women who died.
Oh, yeah.
That was mentioned in one of these talks.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah. Okay, Bednar.
Bednar, come unto Christ and be perfected in him.
The pleasing bar of judgment.
Mm-hmm. So he talked about we're going to be accountable for our sins in the judgment. Moral agency. He talked about a moral agency as the freedom to choose and act. The ability to choose and act for ourselves in things that are good, virtuous, and true, right? Is basically moral agency.
Mm-hmm. He talked about righteous fear is awe, which I want to go back and read.
I like he said we are commanded to choose.
Ooh, I like that.
So it's not, we are commanded to choose our agency to love and choose God. So, that's what I wrote. I'm trying to make sense of that right now. But I mean, that would make sense. Like, we're not, in other words, we have agency and we have our choice, and moral agency is the moral right of it, right? Yeah. What's morally right. But we're supposed to love one another and choose God.
Yeah.
And then it says we are commanded to choose our agency to love and choose God.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So that was pretty interesting. And then he said we have not been blessed with agency to do as we please. I don't like that.
Ooh. Bam.
So, I mean, when we talk about agency, people are like, but I have my choice. You do have your choice.
There are such things as natural consequences.
You have the right to choose, but you do not have the choice of the consequences that you receive. So, So yeah, he basically says, we have not been blessed with agency to do as we please. Agents unto themselves to act for God. Satan wanted to take away the right to act and to only be acted upon, because he talked about the difference between acting and being acted upon.
Yeah.
So if we are complacent in our discipleship, if we're complacent in our lives, and where we're just kind of just sitting back waiting for things to happen, then we're choosing to be acted upon instead of choosing to act.
Yeah.
Nothing good happens when you're just waiting around for things to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. You need to be proactive.
Yeah. So,
and I like, it kind of ties into what I took out of it is, I think I shared this earlier, but to know something and become something.
mm-hmm.
And my further question I asked myself is, what do I need to become? And the idea of this life is not to just get through it. It's to like make something of yourself.
Yes.
And follow Christ and have your own path and your own ministry as you will. Like in the initiatory, it says, you'll be protected until you finish your work on this earth. We all have a work to do, big or small, public or private.
Yep.
We all have a work. And I think it's important to figure out how God wants us to act and what path he wants us to pursue.
Absolutely. And then I like this last bit that I wrote here. It says, if we are evil, we will be our own judge. We will deem ourselves evil.
I don't remember that.
I wrote that exactly.
That's so intense.
Because
we know where we're gonna be.
Right, exactly. Because when we get to the judgment seat, we're gonna know exactly. In other words, it's like we're gonna kind of judge ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, God is gonna judge us, but we're gonna be in perfect agreement.
Yeah.
With what he believes about us, what
we're going to have a perfect memory of
because
our lives.
We are, and so if we are evil, we will be our own judge, and we'll just be like, yeah, I'm evil.
Yeah.
And that's that,
Yeah.
So I thought that was very telling, because it's like people are always like, oh, God's going to judge us and everything like that. I'm like, really? Is he really, or are we really judging ourselves? We're going to be really our own judge and executioner.
Yeah.
At the end. And so I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah,
take on that. But we're not going to be evil, so it's okay.
Agreed.
Cavalier, Corey?
Yes.
Yeah. We're going to butcher these names. Sorry. Yep. By
it's
which
a worldwide
name?
Church,
By which cool name are you called? Yes, that's the question. Yes, take upon ourselves the name of Christ. This one was really interesting because he's talking about like what we're called or what we associate with. Is it like when we're baptized and we become a disciple of Christ, we take on the name of Christ, and so we need to convey that. When we're linked to Christ. And so we need to be good examples of that, because we're carrying on his name is what I think is what he was basically saying.
Yeah. I like that he said that we should let others feel the spirit around us and make it clear that we are followers of Christ.
Yeah.
I really like that.
That's like by taking on his name. Like when we take on his name, we're linked.
Yeah.
So do we want to be linked to Christ, or do we want to be linked to something else?
Yeah.
In our name.
Yeah.
And then we have Matthew Holland.
I think he's Elder Holland's son. I kind of want to look it up right now. He looks like him for sure.
Does it? I don't remember what he looks like.
He's spoken before too.
Matthew S. Holland, yeah.
President of Utah Valley University. He's got to be. See?
Oh my gosh, he does. Who is he?
Wikipedia. Let's go to the church website. Yep.
Yep. I did not know that. They were speaking in the same conference. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So funny.
So good.
So good.
He's a very good speaker.
Okay. So Matthew Holland said, God loves and seeks to rescue all his children.
They got to speak in the same session, too.
They did.
No, they didn't.
Oh, no,
same
it was
day.
after. Same day. Same day.
Whatever.
Yeah. So everyone is worthy of redemption, he says. Even our enemies. This is often all our downfalls. Oh.
I don't remember that part.
When things just go wrong rather than okay, so this is what I wrote down. Okay, this is exactly what I wrote down because I didn't write down a lot. It says God loves and seeks to rescue all his children. Everyone is worthy of redemption, even our enemies. This is often all of our downfalls. When things just go wrong rather than wallow, we should be merciful. The end. Well, he talked about, that's right, he was talking about Jonah and the whale.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to Jonah, I will sacrifice unto thee, deep in the belly of a personal hell.
I love that story from the kid. Like, well, what about Jonah? So good. I just put rescue all the children.
Yeah. So yeah, he's talking about how Jonah tried to run.
I was getting tired.
Yeah.
My notes have dwindled.
They've dwindled
In this session. And the kids were getting a little... They're
So-
like, is it over yet, Mom?
So he's like, listen to Jonah, I will sacrifice unto thee deep in the belly of a personal hell. Forsaken not your own mercy despite your human flaws. Do not turn your back on that. Relief is not found by sailing away from your spiritual responsibilities. When
it again!
when the focus of our lives is on the plan of salvation and God, we can experience joy. Forsake not your own mercy.
Okay, spiritual responsibilities.
Yes.
I like that.
So that was what his talk was about.
I put that he talked about the fall in a really good way. I just put the fall in a star, so I guess it was good.
I don't know. I only remember the Jonah story.
Yeah.
He's talking about Jonah.
And he talked about joy amidst the crucible.
Yeah.
Which is always a good idea.
Yeah, I did mention joy here. We can experience joy.
Yeah, it's hard, but you can do it. I can do it, I guess.
You can do it.
Okay.
You can have joy, Melissa. It's okay. Okay, Carlos Godoy.
I really like him. He's talked a lot the last couple of years.
Okay, my first line is happy faces and grateful hearts.
Oh, that was him?
That was him.
Oh, cute. See, I didn't put the catchphrase. It's totally his catchphrase.
It's happy faces and grateful hearts.
Yeah, all these people that have nothing and they're just like, it's fine.
It's fine. Oh yeah, they were talking about he was talking about all the places and he just kept saying happy faces and grateful hearts.
They're like, who cares?
Yeah, they had to walk 10 miles to church or whatever. It's fine, And
We really should stop complaining, guys.
Really, I mean, we have it so good.
Yeah, we do.
Oh my gosh. We could be in a third world country with nothing.
Again, that's why I'm so drawn to giving more now.
Yeah.
So this talk probably helped just stamp it in my brain. I have enough to give,
Yeah, he even said here, we are very privileged and other places have harder times. But if we focus on Christ, we will have joy and be grateful no matter our circumstances. Come unto me, all that are laden and heavy burden, and I will give you rest.
And then he quoted Nelson, that same one that we talked about earlier, the focus of our lives.
Yeah. So that was a good one. So
that seems to be a theme.
Yes.
Okay, Elder Renland.
How have I changed since I linked my name to that of Jesus Christ? Okay,
I liked that.
Linking our name to Jesus Christ. We were saying that in...
How did he tell that story? He started it with something cool.
Let's see. I don't remember.
Okay, Google, tell me what he did.
Yeah, this is where I got the linked from. When we take upon ourselves the name of Jesus Christ, we are linked to him.
I feel like he told us a cool story though. He talked about Nelson and the
guy,
award.
The guy that had his name linked to Russell Nelson.
There we go.
Yep.
Dr. Nelson.
That's it.
That's right. See, I was like, there was a cute story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was a cool intro.
It was. Because, again, he's saying that, he wanted to do better
Because
he was linked to President Nelson,
Mm-hmm.
and we should want to be better because we're linked to Jesus Christ, and we've taken on his name. And when we partake of the sacrament, we remember and acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
our covenant at baptism and taking on his name. Yep.
Absolutely. And then, what did they sing after that?
I don't know. I
We
didn't
thank
write the
thee, O
song.
God, for a
We
prophet.
thank thee, O God, for a prophet.
Freaking trying to make me cry. You're so rude.
We
totally
have
cried.
John D. Amos. How to be happy. The secret is called the scriptures, the good news. The good news, what does this say? I can't. Good news recipe. That's right. The good news recipe.
Oh, yeah. We talked about the jumbo.
Yes.
That was cute. So cute.
The answer is always Jesus Christ. Yes.
What I got for my little action item is that we should add more Jesus Christ in our life.
Yes.
And then I put dash how ?
Sprinkle some Jesus.
Yeah. See, sometimes I get really great answers of like read the Book of Mormon and and others I get like more Jesus, and I'm like, but what should I do?
But I do all Jesus, the Jesus.
But what should I do?
All the Jesus.
That's sometimes the hard part is you have to turn these really cool ideas into action. I find, so I was going through some old conference notes because I had found them when I was trying to look for something else. And I've done this iteration of notes and compiling notes after conference and having action items like the last 3 or 4 years. And I found my notes from October of 2022, and I had so many more action items that were very clear, like what to do. And this time I feel like they're not as clear and not as actionable yet. And then I'm going to have to do some more pondering and some more reading of these talks to figure out how I should get more Jesus Christ in my life.
Well, welcome to the way the rest of the world, Melissa, because I feel like this conference is the only one that I actually got like solid answers. Most of the time it's like,
I know, I feel like we switched.
Really stupid. And this time I was like, oh, do this, do that. They were actually, and I will not stress to you enough that this is not what happens to me.
Yeah.
Most of the time Melissa's like, oh, I got this and he told me to do this, and I'm like, well, that would be really great to get like step-by-step instructions. Can somebody tell me how to do that? And then this time I did get step-by-step instructions, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. How did you do that? I don't know what I did different. I didn't do anything. I don't know what I did different, really, to be honest. I think it was just maybe his time was like, okay, I can stop, driving her nuts now. So maybe give her a crumb here.
Yeah, I don't know. We just switched this time.
We did. But
because I'm just like, I don't know what that means.
But true to form, I got pretty much all of my answers on Saturday.
Yeah.
And Sunday was just me taking notes, and I got no other anything for the rest of.
Wow.
Yeah, it was just
crazy.
Saturday.
That's so funny.
He knows me so well.
Yeah.
I will not reiterate. I will tell you that he knows me so well. He knows, like, after Saturday, done.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay. So the next one is Ozani Farias.
Yeah.
The Book of Mormon.
You talked about the Book of Mormon and having a deeper study, which I'm totally going to do with this 90 days, and it's going to be so good.
And just to your question of how to do more Jesus, there are 3 things on here, it says.
Yeah, I remember I have in here, look back at the steps he mentioned, so please tell me what they are, because I didn't
Be
write them
diligent
down.
and consistent in daily study.
Okay.
Study each day.
Okay.
Number 2, feasting on the word of Christ. More meaningful study, ponder and pray and record what you've learned. And then 3,
That's more than one thing.
There's 3. He said
I know,
3.
but like that number 2 was like 4 things.
Okay, but it's part of the same one.
Okay.
And number 3, bear testimony of truthfulness of the Book of Mormon. There you go.
I can do that.
There you go.
Well, I did plan to study and record what was
See, so you
impressed on
already
me.
planned on getting more Jesus.
Now I
That's
just
what
have
it was.
to bear my testimony about it.
Bear your testimony about the Book of Mormon.
So we'll do an episode when we're done in December.
Yeah,
And it'll be
there you go.
fabulous.
It'll be fabulous.
And we'll talk about it on Instagram. And I'll tell the whole world.
And possibly YouTube if we get that going.
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, I'm going to try and do that on Monday.
Oh, sweet.
So
Coming to you, coming to a YouTube channel
yes. So
is this podcast.
actually, I'm going to make myself accountable here.
Okay.
As of this episode, every episode will be on YouTube.
Okay. So
if you need to share it in a different way with your friends,
yes, because we found that not everybody has Spotify or Apple.
iTunes.
So this
YouTube
way,
will make it easier.
yes, it's not going to be video.
Yeah.
It's just audio.
Nobody got time for that.
Translation, we're not putting makeup on.
I'm not putting makeup on. Sorry, guys. You can just imagine our beautiful faces.
It's okay.
It's Saturday afternoon. I had to wake up early for soccer today. Ain't nobody doing that.
We'll get a beautiful picture
We will.
to put up
Yes.
of something. Maybe
Also,
of each episode or something.
Yes. Well, I'm going to put the thumbnail of the Instagram post on the YouTube channel.
Sweet. Okay.
Final finale.
Oaks.
President Oaks.
President Oaks.
We mentioned this already a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
The note I have here is to consecrate your suffering. I need to revisit that thing I wrote about consecrating my divorce because I'm not feeling it this week.
You're not feeling it.
I wrote it at one point and I was feeling it, but
what I wrote was the doctrine centers on the family, and at that center is the temple.
yes. I love that he's kind of like taken a step back because President Nelson was so much about the temple and Oaks is like, the family leads you to the temple.
Yep.
He's like, let's rewind a little bit.
Let's realign
or
a
like
little bit.
zoom in.
Well, also because he did mention, he's like, we have so many temples that were announced that they're still under construction. We got to catch up.
Yeah. So I know why they're doing this. I found this podcast episode that my dad sent me that there's a guy that works on the temple committee that President Nelson will announce a temple before they've acquired land. Or like before it's like really official.
So he's
President Nelson would feel the spirit like this city needs a temple and he would just announce it. And so my guess is they're actually really behind.
They're really behind.
That like because President Nelson is like jumping the gun.
Well, I mean, you saw the controversy that was here for the new one in Vegas.
Yeah.
That was,
They announced it maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, but then it was like mired in all of
when
this.
When did they announce it? Because we just broke ground like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, because they were fighting it. The city or whatever, and the community was fighting it. The placement.
Oh, yep, October of 22.
Yeah.
So it was announced 3 years ago, and we finally broke ground.
We finally broke ground because we finally got through.
Because people didn't
want permits.
They thought the lights were going to be too bright in Las Vegas.
Okay.
And the steeple was too high. It's really stupid.
Yeah, it was going to be too much traffic for the rural area, which is not a rural area.
And there's a school next door that will cause way more traffic because the temple will be steady throughout the day, but the school is going to be jam-packed, the drop off and pick up.
It was just silly. Anyway.
Yeah.
But so we finally broke ground on that. But yeah, so he comes out and he's like, everyone's like, what temple's going to announce? And he's like, no new temples.
I know, and I'm just like, okay, I'll just go over here and cry.
Everybody waits for that. They even have it on the kids' bingo cards.
I know. Well, it was so funny because I love that he said, and President Nelson loved announcing them. I thought that was so cute.
I know. He just loved it. That was his thing.
Yeah.
So obviously Oaks' thing is the family, though, because that's what he talked about. He said
and
family.
He's talked about the proclamation a couple times in the past.
Family is pivotal to the plan. It's a family-centered church. Marriages and birth rates of the church members has declined, is what he said.
I'll tell you why. Because daycare is really expensive. Mm-hmm. That's like a top reason why I'm done having kids.
Well, yeah.
Among other things.
Right. But I mean, just among like people that are like, say say the husband works and the wife stays home kind of thing, where there's no daycare situation. But
most homes can't get it.
But most of them can't get by with one income. You're right. And so there's marriage and birth rates are down. I think the marriage rates being down, I think, surprised me more than the birth rates, really, because but that would make sense. If the marriage rates were down, the birth rates would be down.
Yeah, they go together.
Yeah, and that's not just in the world, that's in the membership of the church that he was talking about.
Yeah.
So he said that exaltation is a family affair. Few members experience family-centered activities. So he was basically coming to this place of saying, hey, we need to center ourselves on the family again.
Mm-hmm. And it brought me back actually to the first talk by
Stevenson?
I always get the Rosband and Nelson and whatever those guys all mixed up. Yeah, Stevenson, Renlund, and Rosband were all called together, and I always get them all mixed up. Stevenson, who talked about peacemaking, and he talked about your heart, your family, and your communities.
Yep.
And so I felt like Oaks was just driving that idea in, that we have to start at home. If we're going to do anything to change the world, we have to start at home.
And then he brought in, this is where he talked about how he was raised by a single mom and that his grandpa said he'd be his dad now, right? It was so cute, right? Says what grandparents can do to fill in the gap. So he's saying we are a family church, meaning that where there are gaps in the family, whether it's, somebody's passed away, there's been a divorce, or, something has happened, that your extended family should fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
And then the church family, right? Basically.
Sure.
And so he's like, grandparents can help, aunts and uncles can help, it's just, he was kind of in a way saying it takes a village.
Yeah.
It takes a village, but it takes your family connections to raise this people in the church.
Yeah, for sure.
Says the perfection we seek is not limited to this life. Okay, so this is where he was talking about the tech. If you turn the tech off, right?
Yeah,
you're going to
turn
like
cool
if you're going to turn on your family, you have to turn the tech off.
Yes.
Is what he was saying. Family dinner is a time for you to come together and this used to be a thing, like, right? I remember, like, all the conferences when I was a kid, it was always centered around family home evening. They were always talking about it. They were talking about family dinner. They were talking, and in the age that I grew up in, you ate at the table.
Yeah.
And you ate as a family, and nobody had any devices because they didn't exist.
Yeah.
There was one TV in the living room that wasn't movable because it was a giant thing.
Yeah.
And now we're also focused in on our devices. We're also focused in on all the technology that we have, and technology can be good. I mean, it can be good for things like what we're doing right now, which is this podcast.
Yeah.
But it also can be very, very distracting and very bad for the family when it's a distraction and it's a disconnector. And that's what in one of the other talks they were saying is that Christ connects us, but Satan divides us.
Yeah.
And he uses these tools to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm going to call it here that Oakes's ministry as the prophet of this church is going to be centered on the family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I love that he talked about like practical things to do, which was really helpful.
Yes.
Like working together as a family and tending to the garden and doing chores and
brought
all
it
that.
all the way back.
I was like, this is old school and I love it.
Old school. He brought it all the way back to where kids should have chores.
I know. And I was like, yes. I actually set up the kids with a savings tithing jar system for their money like 2 months ago.
Oh, cool.
And been meaning to do more for that, like have them have chores that they don't get paid for and then have like extra chores that normally I would do that they could earn money for. And I'm like, okay, I need to do more of that.
And that's so great because they're about to turn 8.
Yeah.
And so they need to learn that lesson of tithing.
Yeah. And so I loved that he was very practical in that. And also, this was another one that reminded me of my patriarchal blessing, because I'm told that I will teach my children not just the gospel, but practical things of the world.
Yes.
And so it's like, okay, gotta make sure that happens.
And you know what, Melissa, you're the perfect person for that, because Melissa cooks and she, loves to, her kids, and she's done gardening before. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. I don't know what to tell you.
And I don't know if I told you, I finally fixed my drip system in my garden.
Yeah, you did.
Thanks to my fabulous Elders Quorum presidency that came and ministered to me. They're like, what can we do to help? And I'm like, this and this. And they're like, great, we'll do it tomorrow. And I was like, okay,
how sweet.
Thank you. So I'm going to do a garden this spring, and I'm so stoked. And the kids have always loved it.
They love it. They're going to love that.
They loved it when I did it in 2020. So. And
they were just little then. So yeah, this is going to be so great. And honestly, I like that and for me and my, conspiracy theory brain is so telling to me of things to come, that it's going to come down to the tech is going to crash. The systems are going to crash.
Hey, do you have
and you're going to need to learn.
Do you have a radio from the emergency prep people?
No, because church? I was not going to church at the time that they did that.
I should find out how to get you one, because I have one, and then we can radio each other when the world dies.
When the world ends, I know. Yeah. I know. And so this is all going through my brain. Again, this is all going through my brain when he's saying this. I'm like, okay, he's prepping us. He's telling us you need to put down the tech. It's going to be gone someday. So, okay, this is just according to me. Okay, nobody listen to this as far as this is not doctrine. This is not from the prophet. This is just me and my brain saying that you're going to need to learn how to do some of these basic skills. So,
yeah, for sure.
And teach your kids.
Yes.
Because they're our future.
Seriously. Okay, so to wrap up, the main themes: discipleship, ministering to the one.
Yes. Peacemaking.
Helping people that are different.
Service.
President Nelson's quote about the focus of our lives.
Joy.
And
family. Reconciliation. There was a lot, but that all goes hand in hand with family too. You got to reconcile with people. I mean, it's just so, I don't know. It kind of seemed like this conference was all over the place, but when you really hone into it, they all complement each other.
Yeah. There was none that were like, well, that was out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, except for the no temples thing. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah. So I will tell you, I don't know if I told you this yet.
What?
So after President Oaks spoke, and they're singing the last song, and I'm realizing that President Nelson is not going to speak. Oh, I started crying.
Oh no!
And I didn't cry when I found out he died. I cried. This is when I cried, when I was like, it's real now. He's not here. Conference is not going to end with President Nelson. He's gone.
I know, he's gone.
I was like, okay.
Have they actually done the solemn assembly yet?
No.
Oh.
They have to call a new apostle still.
Oh yeah.
And he has to pick a first presidency.
Yeah, and by the way, that was the other big major
that they didn't
do the solemn assembly. No, but they can only do it
at a conference.
Right.
So they'll call him, but they won't ratify it until conference. Which is so. I mean, which I get because it was so close to. They were saying that it's been 75 years since somebody's died that close to. And the last time it was 2 days before.
It was 2 days before, and they did it anyway.
Did they really?
They did. I read that they actually ratified the next prophet in 2 days.
Dang.
But I like how Oaks came up and said that he wanted to keep this conference the way that Nelson had envisioned it, and I think that's why they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Was because he didn't want to change what Nelson had already did.
It almost was like he was going to let us grieve a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Before he changed stuff.
I think that was what he did. Because they certainly could have, because when I read that when this happened 75 years ago, they actually did do it in 2 days.
Dang.
I know.
That's a lot of pressure.
I know.
Okay, who's a new apostle? Who's my first presidency?
Well, they actually had they said they actually had the memorial one day, and then they did the ratification the next.
Dang.
I know.
That's
crazy.
I want to hear from Wendy. That's what I want to hear.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't watch the funeral live because I was working.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched it yet. I still need to, but I'm gonna miss her because when they would do like devotionals, they would speak together.
Well, this is going to be interesting to get to
they'll
know.
do that with the apostles now, where the wives will speak too.
Well, now we get to know
Sister Oaks.
Sister Oaks.
True.
Who is, I didn't realize that he was her first husband at 53.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, she's married to Oaks. She's got to be pretty great.
Pretty much.
All right.
Okay, our challenge to you is to find at least one action item from conference and make it the walk and talk of the next 6 months, because we have prophet on the earth. Prophets. All the disciples are prophets. To guide and direct us, and it's pretty amazing. And sometimes they're clear direction and sometimes they're not, but continue to ponder, because as Elder Holland said, you can always count on personal revelation. Yes. So keep going, keep asking questions, keep searching, keep praying, keep reading scriptures. God will tell you what to do. And
what do you think if we put the 90-day schedule as a link on if anybody wants to do the 90-day challenge with us?
Join us. So 90 days would have been starting October 1st. Conference was the 4th and the 5th, and I had a hard week, so I didn't start. So just keep in mind that you're going to have about a week that you're going to have to double read.
Yeah.
So, but I will put this beautiful Pinterest thing that I found for the 90-day reading schedule. I did it the first time and it changed my life, and I'm excited to see what it's going to turn.
Yeah.
The second time, because I need a little extra right now.
Yes.
So join us. It'll be fabulous.
It'll be fabulous. And come find us on YouTube, because we're going to be on YouTube.
Yes. Also, if you don't know, which I never talk about, a sponsor for this fabulous podcast is my Patriarchal Blessing Study Guide.
Yes.
It's the only in-depth study guide. It's over 200 pages. It covers your counsel, your spiritual gifts, your tribe, and how to use the atonement to manifest your patriarchal blessing. It's only $28. There's a digital version available. There's a prep version available. If you want to support us, that is how to do it.
Yay.
Okay.
And thank you.
Happy conference.
Bye.